Hello, we are the Geeks and Degenerates, and today we go back to Middle Earth, to the very the
Da, da,
beginning.
da, 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 da,
Not
da,
yet,
da.
my dude.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But yeah, we're talking about the Rings of Power, Amazon's latest project, and it's the most expensive TV project up to date.
Hey, it's kind of like when they made Lord of the Rings for the first time.
Yeah.
It was the most expensive movie out there, most
Yeah.
expensive trilogy.
And like before we get started, like I know HBO and Netflix offered the Tolkien estate various other projects. Like Netflix wanted to do like a MCU style Lord of the Rings universe, was freaked out the Tolkien estate. But I would have liked to see like series about Aragorn and Gandalf. Why not? Like I'm always open.
Well, I mean,
What?
okay, never mind.
You don't? Okay. And then I think that HBO wanted to like
You
remake
can do it.
remake the three movies for TV. Very interesting task. You're like, really?
Why? The three movies are great on its own. If somebody doesn't have 3 hours, just cut the 3 hours in three sections. Like, oh, first movie's 3 episodes. The second movie, another then it's 9 episodes. It's just like watching this.
I think they just want to delve in deeper into the characters. That's it.
Ah, sure.
Yeah, Amazon one.
With their runtime of like 9 hours, or like, well, with this one only has 8 episodes.
I
They
don't
wouldn't
know.
have the time. They could
I
have just stuck to the script.
Right. So yeah, Amazon won, and we have the Rings of Power because of them. And yeah, uh, the billion-dollar company making one of the most expensive TV shows. And you know what? Let's just dive into the sections we like and we don't like. Before we get started, were you excited?
Uh, mm, to be honest, yes. I was like, interesting, and we're learning about Galadriel and like before The Hobbit, before um, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
There's like 1,000 years before Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not the biggest
Yeah.
expert on Tolkien stuff, so forgive
Neither
us.
am I. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you would like to correct us in the comments, let
Yeah.
us know.
And the
Like,
show. Sorry, go on.
no, go on.
No, I'll say like I think you do know that this show has received, you know, backlash from some fans who were like they can't be not colored white. All the things have to be colored white. It's like, but why?
Yeah, I don't get it why they are complaining about race swapping when we haven't fully seen these characters. Like, in the books, did they explain what color they were? No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Or are elves and hobbits and dwarves strictly white?
This is a grand universe, a world that is fictional. So why can't they be of different
Yeah,
ethnicities?
yeah. Yes, it is. Oh, at the start there were none, and now there are.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is a little bit jarring, but again, who fucking cares?
yeah,
If a character wasn't like confirmed as white within the books, then they could be whatever fucking race they are, like they want to be.
yeah.
No, like just let the storytelling, you know, persuade you into thinking if this is a good story, not because of the color of the person's skin, but more of the writing of the series itself.
Yeah, but yeah, getting into it, like let's divide it into like things we did, like the the story elements we found interesting, because there's like multiple story elements that if we go with them step by step, we'll be here for like 4 hours. Uh,
Yeah, so look, we're gonna be cutting this down.
yeah,
We ain't gonna be doing this per episode.
yeah. Let's start off
Just
with the no pun intended, the smallest role, the Harfoots. You meet Nori, and Nori is the adventurous kind of Harfoot, and she's in this tribe of other Harfoots, including like Sadak
they,
Barrows, who are like we keep
yeah,
to ourselves. We don't let other outsiders dictate what we should
and
be.
they're a very Oregon Trail kind of people where
Yeah,
they migrate. They go for well, Oregon Trail. They had the destination. It was across America to California, like the east of America to California.
yeah,
But this one, they move per season trying to survive. Like, oh, we stay here when it's winter there, and we stay there when it's summer here. It's kind of, yeah, they have to keep moving, and that's why I say Oregon Trail, because a lot of them get left behind.
Yeah.
Like we do get stories of like, oh, this guy, yeah, he got eaten by wolves. This guy lost in the woods. This guy, hunter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
But-
it's interesting, like, learning about Hartford culture because these are the predecessors to the Hobbits.
Hobbits.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about this show is that I keep forgetting that this is year, like when I say years, it's not like 10 years,
Yeah.
thousands of years, or maybe hundreds of years before Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yes, elves are old. And we get to see these stories of early ancestors, like Durin. We'll get to him later, but like
Yeah.
we got Durin. I was like, oh, I wonder what Durin is like. I see a statue of him in the movies, but never knew what he was like, and now we do.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the Amazon series for doing this. Is that we do get to see a more well-depth like background on the races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Nora discovers a comment, and within that comment is a man inside it, and like throughout the series, you're like, who is this guy? He
I
can't.
knew from the start. Not really. I knew.
Few things gave it away. You're like, you can't be the other guy they're looking for because the other guy they wouldn't show poor hobbits being decimated like that, would they? They can't do.
It's just whack. Just magic everywhere. No. Are we gonna talk about it?
Yeah, let's just say who he is. He's Gandalf.
Yeah, I called it like right at like probably the second episode he was on. I was like, oh, who is this? The stranger. And
Yeah.
I was like, weird. Okay. And then he like had that net, like he had like that roofing that they had that he demolished
Yeah.
when they first met him.
Yeah.
I was like, now he's wearing gray. And then with every like magic that he does, sure, there's a shockwave of destruction, but
Yeah.
later on there's beauty. And I was
Yeah.
like, he does magic. I wonder who this fucker could be.
Like they're so confided within themselves. They're like, we don't accept any outsiders. That's why, as your punishment, you should be in the back of the caravan because you brought this upon us, and we might pay the toll for it. And like all the while, there's just like three weird ladies. I don't know what you call them, but they're like hunting him down.
Yeah, like the others were like battle ready,
Yeah.
like Nordic Valkyries,
Yeah,
and the other one's like a BDSM white angry eyebrow one.
yeah. The dweller, the aesthetic, and I don't have the other name of the other
I
one.
love how the other one's named Aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I lost the other name somehow, but yeah. And like you find out like big hints like this definitely is the Gandalf, especially when the ladies confront them and you're like, oh, you are Lord Sauron, and he's like, excuse me.
No, this is where I was thrown off. I was like, this puts more depth into Sauron's character. We thought that was Gandalf,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, this can't be Sauron. But it would be sick if it was. Like he started out to be a nice guy, and then later on became the ruler of Mordor.
Yeah.
But we do find out. It's like, nope, he does fight the white ladies,
Yeah.
and you see a gray moth, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty much Gandalf because he does talk to a gray moth in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, you're not Lord Sauron. You were an Istar, or just one of the wizards that fell from a convent. Like it's him.
Does that count with like Saruman the White and?
Yeah, they're all Istars.
Okay.
Yeah, it's him.
Radagast.
Yeah. He's included. But yeah, I like how eventually Sadak Barrows is like, you know what? We can't be always confiding to ourselves. We have to help other people. And who am I to deny this big fella help, even though since he's been helping us and restoring our land? Who am I to say no to that?
You gotta love how they're like, every time he does something, and they're like, outsider stuff. That's
Yeah.
scary. Go away. And then what the outsider did benefits the community, and they're like, fuck, bring him back, and they do it again. And they're like, oh, you dropped a tree on the kid. Well, the kid should have not been standing near the tree.
I mean, maybe it's the first time a Hartfoot saw a falling tree. I don't know.
I know, but like, if you hear that, if I hear somebody going like talking in such a, like with such strength, and then you feel the air moving, I'm like, I'm gonna stand back a bit.
Yeah.
You know, Hardfoots weren't known for their common sense.
I guess. But yeah, he benefits the community. But I did feel bad when they first meet the white ladies and she sets all of the
She
Hobbit
just
homes.
burns down the community.
I'm like,
I was like,
oh my god.
Look. I'm gonna be honest with this story arc. It's not really my favorite.
Yeah,
I
it's just
love
like
Gandalf.
it's just like it could have been waited for like season 2. Like I don't.
No, because yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
But also, I get it. They had to introduce Gandalf and how he's gonna play a role with Galadriel, Elrond, and the others.
Yeah.
It's just that every time it cuts to the Hardfoots, I start going, oh. After going through so much drama in like, what was the name of that land? Like
The Southlands.
No.
Numenor.
Further. Numenor. When we were in Numenor, I was like, yeah, drama. And then we cut back to the heart. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, it eventually ends like sweetly. Nori's parents are like, you have to go on your own adventure. We'll be fine. And like, she says something to her friend. Like, her friend's like, why is everybody always leaving me? And she's like, I guess it's to teach you a lesson about life.
Yeah, fuck you. Bye.
Gandalf's like, whoa, wow, this land is savage.
I don't want you to go with me. No.
But yeah.
I do like it that they do hint the whole. Who knows? Nori could be a descendant of Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah.
Frodo Baggins. That's why Gandalf kind of like gravitates towards Bilbo at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so welcome in the Hobbit community. Like, yeah, it's Gandalf. You don't need to worry.
Yeah.
The other arc that's interesting that eventually intertwines with the bigger story is the arc of the elf and Barrowin and her kid, Theo.
Oh yeah. How many arcs were there?
A lot. Like, I find it interesting that the elves are like an occupying force of the Southlands, and the Southland people are like, we don't like the elves because of that.
Yeah, there's a bit of political drama here.
Yeah.
Where people claim shit, some are very entitled to them. Galadriel, sorry. And this is before she was cool. And a lot of people hating on them for it, especially some who just want to live a life.
Yeah.
Which is shown here in this arc where this like watch, like elf watch, on this like guard whatever, falls in love with a human, but everybody hates this guy.
Yeah.
But he does visit like the town bar.
Yeah. And like he helps her uncover suspicious activity, and you find out eventually like these are orcs burrowing underground, and why the town is so mistrusted because these people sided with Morgoth, who's like the predecessor of Sauron. So there's already untrust with them, but like since nobody trusts them, we're like, I guess we're on our own against these fucking orcs.
I gotta hate it every time they have like a remark towards like the elves. I was like, man, sit the fuck down.
Right.
Like, shut the hell up. Like, them going, there is no danger. Why are you still here? I'm like, no, just calm the fuck down and just eat your raw pig.
Right. What makes matters worse is that Theo discovers a blade that's like obviously from Sauron's age.
Yeah, a broken blade. You gotta love broken blades. It's a common theme in the Lord of the Rings lore, where with like Shadow of Mordor to this to What's his name again?
Aragon.
Aragon's sword. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. How dare you? Okay, no, that's fine.
man.
But yeah,
You know that the Lord of the Rings names confuse me.
it's fine. I don't even remember the elf's name. Anadir? Arondir? I don't know. I'm sorry. Anadir. I think that's
No,
his
I
name.
don't know either. Also, did you notice that the Elf King is Abraham Lincoln, the vampire slayer?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, hey, good for you. You got a good role this time.
Arondir and Barwin are like, you know what? This town ain't safe. So she helps move the people, but Arondir is captured by the orcs, and he's enslaved by them. And like they're in this like, I don't know, elf dead camp. I don't know what do you call it. Prison.
Yeah, it's pretty much an elf camp slash human camp.
Yeah.
Labor camp. There we go.
I do like the design of the orcs. I'm like, this is pretty good.
Dude, okay. There's one thing I will say that, like, the costumes and the design of the environment, the creatures, and the races,
Yeah.
they look fucking great.
Yeah.
Say what you will. There was that meme with the dog where they compared it to the Lord of the Rings version to this version where this one had puppy dog eyes while that one was like kind of
Savage.
savage looking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the one with the beady eyes freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of, oh god.
Yeah, you know how like horror movies would like put a cute object to be the cursed thing, so
Yeah.
it, like you have this uncanny value of like, is it safe or not? That's what that thing did. I was in a mix of like it's adorable, but it has blood in its teeth.
Yeah.
So I say that one looks better, in my opinion. I find that better.
Yeah. And then the action's pretty cool too, like when they're trying to escape, but ultimately fail. But it's a cool sequence of Arondir and his, I guess, captain or lieutenant trying to
Yeah,
escape
it's
his superior.
yeah. Oh yeah. So like I love that, and you see like them getting taken out bit by bit by Saruman. I don't know what was his called. What was his name again?
Adar is the corrupted elf who is like, you think like that probably is Sauron. No, he's not Sauron. He's just one of many
He had
right
that
hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, is it? Because he does appear as an elf in Shadow of War. So I'm like, oh shit. And then he's not. You're like, oh, never mind then.
And we do get to see how dangerous orcs are. Like, yes, we know how dangerous orcs are in, you know, the movies.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we're like, oh, we're put in the shoes of somebody who's just a civilian.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that in The Hobbit, but like, this is more intense, where she was hiding in the closet.
Yeah.
This thing was walking around like a velociraptor. I'm like, this shit's creepy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool too. Like, just being that perspective, like, yeah, the orcs can be scary, and like, Adar sends Anadir back with a message like, you know what's better if you surrender, and half of the people are like, you know what, it is better if you surrender, and there's this guy who's like, loyal to Sauron, and you're like, what's your deal?
Yeah, no, I love how people didn't even question him. Yeah, let's follow this guy. Who pretty much led them to their deaths. So I was like, sorry, but that's me. Like, if you want to follow that guy instead of an elf that's trying to help, go nuts, donuts.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
It's nice seeing this cat and mouse game between them and the orcs, just like when Anadir rescues Theo first. He's like running from the orcs, barely having enough arrows behind him. Like, well, I guess this is my end.
Yeah, and dude, there were so many times where they almost killed Barrowin. Was it?
Barrowin?
Barrowin.
Yeah.
There were so many times where arrows were like going that way,
Yeah.
and she's running this way, and I was like, oh no! Oh, okay, she ain't there yet. And then it happens again. I'm like, oh no! Oh, it ain't there yet. And then she gets hit. I'm like, fuck!
Though that village attack scene is pretty sweet. Or like,
Which one?
the night one.
Yes.
Yeah.
where they pretty much had this whole seven samurai. They
Yeah.
taught the villagers how to fight for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Anodir has this fight with this big, chunky orc boy. I don't know what you call that.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
We would consider them urukai, but not.
Yeah, not
I guess
yet.
he's just a big orc.
Yeah, a big chungus orc just fights.
A big chungus.
And after the fight, they feel good until they discover, like, oh shit, that's the other half of us.
Yeah. Well, sucks for them. They were fighting. I saw it.
Yeah,
Amazing fight scenes. It
yeah,
was a little too dark for my taste, but
yeah.
it was still great. And the choreography was great. But yeah, they were fighting. These people in the helmets, they were swinging their swords at them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you kind of...
Why weren't you like, wait, it's me?
Yeah, like Dark Knight. Like, the doctors are the terrorists.
Like, maybe if we fake it, they'll kill us anyway. I don't know. But yeah, the orcs surround them, and you're like, who can save them? And we'll pause this story section for when we come back, because the main meat is Galadriel and Elrond's journey, where at the beginning you learn about the history of Middle-earth and the elves, that they were almost wiped out by Morgoth, and he has a right hand, an apprentice named Sauron that her brother tries to chase, gets killed in the process, and she's on the hunt. Her company's like, you know what, we're done with this Sauron shit.
And I don't blame them. Like, okay, I do love this part of, like, the elves where they are dedicated.
Hmm.
And they've been doing this for years. Not just, like 5 or 4
Yeah,
centuries. They were looking for Sauron. And
Yeah.
she's been on this journey with this company. And this company was kind of like, we're kind of tired. Well, we're kind of done with you. And then they fight like an ice troll
yeah,
within Sauron's, like, the 4 cave.
yeah. And then they're like, you know what, we want to go to Elf Heaven, and then they're granted the privilege by Mr. Abraham Lincoln King, and like she's like, as she's about to enter heaven, she's like, no, thank you. I need to go for my journey.
I like that. Okay. People are arguing that, Cave Troll in Lord of the Rings, Gandalf, Gimli,
Aragorn.
Aragorn and Legolas had a hard time just fighting one. While she pretty much bodied,
The small one.
like, it's not that big.
Yeah.
I say that. as you see him, like, smacking 2 or 3 elves out of its way.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree. That was a little too quick for my taste.
Hmm.
Like, I wish to have seen more combat with elves working together.
Yeah.
But people saying, oh, it's so female-centered, and yeah, it's her story.
Yeah, it's her hunt.
There was a story with Galadriel.
Yeah.
What's wrong with telling it? And people are, some people in the internet are kind of getting pissed off because, it's a story about a female. I'm like, yeah, shut up.
They were
Let me
here
enjoy this.
before then.
Yeah. And it's in the books. So shut it. From what I've read, I haven't read it. So I could be wrong.
And then, what else next? Elrond is assigned to Celebrimbor, and Celebrimbor says, hey, I'm trying to make what do you call it? A furnace, or like somewhere to make weapons. The biggest in all Middle-earth. And like, if you played Shadow of War, like, holy fuck, you're Celebrimbor. Except,
does not look like him.
Yeah, except more toned down. Makes sense, but sure.
The voice is not that great. I'm sorry. I'm used.
You're just used to
the Shadow of War.
Yeah, you're just used to Troy Baker.
Yeah. Why couldn't they get Troy Baker?
Don't look at me. No.
I mean, it's not like he's doing another Last of Us.
That role is done, so I don't think so.
Seriously, they could have gotten Troy Baker, gave him black hair with like a really big receding hairline, and really long locks,
Yeah.
and then boom, we got Celebrimbor.
Yeah, well, that's not.
Why couldn't
I
they
don't-
stick to his cool design?
I don't know, man. But yeah, Elrond is sent to the kingdom of the dwarves, run by the Durans, the fourth and the third, and like there's a shaky relationship because Duran is like, you never came to my wedding, saw my kids.
You gotta love how it was. It's not like, oh, your race left us in the dust while we were attacked. No, it wasn't like that. It was
You'll
more
never
like,
saw
you didn't
my
come to my
wife."
wedding.
God help us if we have any Scottish viewers, but sure.
What's up?
It's fine. Not for the
my Scottish accent.
If we get the best rate in the comments, I'm showing you all the comments. But yeah, same time Galadriel gets rescued by these people who get eaten by a worm, and then she's rescued by Hellbrand, and you're like, there's something about you. I don't know what.
You're handsome.
Aside from that,
To be honest, the trailer was very misleading because they showed a scene of that thing swimming towards her and her pulling out the knife. I was like, whoa, she's gonna go solo in that giant beast, or she's gonna sail it back to Middle Earth. That she doesn't.
nothing
That thing's
happens.
too big. Look, I think it might have ruined her character if she did, because she already soloed the ice troll.
Yeah,
So
that's not really her character.
no, it's very her character. Like her.
I said let's not ray her character.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
If she's gonna body a shit ton of beasts within her weight, what would happen when the big guy comes in? What, she's gonna do the exact same thing? If you nerf her, then it doesn't make sense.
yeah.
You know? So yeah, I'm happy that they didn't commit to, oh yeah, she could kill that giant thing in the sea.
Yeah. At the same time, she saves his life, and he saves her from drowning, and then they're rescued by Elendil, who you find out is the father of Isildur. You're like, oh no. Hopefully you listen to a dwarf when he tells you to drop a ring down the mountain one day. But that's not here or there.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's the guy. Aaron's like, Isildur, drop the ring! Cast it in the fire! He's the guy! And he later gets arrowed in the first movie. Hey, well, you're in disbelief. Yeah, they meet the Queen Regent, and I don't get the wizards being like, emphasizing like, you're just a regent. Do what I say. And the Queen's like, excuse me?
Yeah, this is a part of like, and she does get put in her place. Like
Yeah.
Galadriel does get put in her place.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that. Like I like it that at some point she is very brash and very straightforward
Yeah.
and very rude.
Yeah. The Queen's like, I am still a queen. I'm gonna put you in jail. And Halbrand gets in trouble too because they're like, oh, you're gonna take our jobs. We're like, interesting. I don't know. That's what.
Yeah, I don't know if this was like a commentary. Of
It probably
anything.
is. That's what the show told me. Their reactions were.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
making
know,
my
I
own
know.
thing. So I just took from it.
Yeah, there was just this random worker complaining that the elves will take their jobs.
And then he bodies those men too, because he steals the, what do you call that? The seal that's like, I'm part of the guild.
Yeah, like a builder's guild, so he can actually,
Yeah,
because he's a smith,
yeah.
right?
Just curb the guy's face into the wall. Like, he's dead. You're going to jail for that.
Yeah, and then just when we find out, like, oh, he's not just a random guy from the north at Southlands.
Yeah,
He might have been a soldier
yeah.
or something like that.
And Galarius convinced he is more than that. He is a king.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when she finds out, she does a little bit of research on the symbol that he had on
Yeah.
around his neck. It's like, oh, that's a sigil of royalty in the Southlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she tries her best to like, hey, we'll get your land back.
Yeah.
We'll get your loved ones back.
Convinces the queen to join her, and the queen shows her the plant here, and like, look, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this together. We're gonna help save the Southlands together, because she sees on the map like, oh shit, the symbol is exactly like the Southlands, and that's where Sauron's starting.
Yeah, like the whole symbol that she was looking at,
Yeah.
like we were like, oh, what does this symbol mean? Oh no, it's a map.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like those mountain ridges.
Yeah, and then we cut back to Isildur, and he is a fuck up. He gets kicked out of the navy, And like he gets kicked out of everything. He's like, Dad, please give me one more chance to join
Man,
this.
I hope he doesn't fuck up anything else.
Like the entire reason why we're going to war, but sure.
Yeah, but yeah, Isildur is like, hey, I want to go west and just enjoy my life. When Numenor is kind of known for like everybody has a part to play.
Yeah.
Everybody must stick to you must be the cog that works this machine, thus giving this land life. And he doesn't want that. He wants to explore. He wants to get out of the Numenor and head west. What's in west?
I know the Isildur, but sure.
Yeah.
And then we come back to the dwarves for a bit, and like, Durin's like, hey, Elrond, I found this new ore. It's called Mithril.
I'm sorry, I never heard the Scottish accent before. But yeah, they did find Mithril and Mithril.
Mithril. God help me.
They find Mithril and we find out that like, oh shit, that's a thing that they make swords out of, and then what makes it glow, what makes a lot of the swords powerful and magical in its own way. Yeah. And also, that's what the rings are made out of.
Yeah, and then the son Durin is like to Father Durin, like, please, let me share this, because my elf friend just told me he's not going to be here forever. Because the king says, like, we're not going to be here forever. Look at the tree.
Yeah. And I do love the chemistry between Durin and Elrond here. Like, you do believe that they're fantasy friends. Because, look, people don't speak like how they do in real life. But, like, you could tell that they are good friends. And Durin's wife, damn, get yourself a queen like that. She supports you the entire fucking way, even though your dad is king.
Yeah. Though people say their conversation during the dinner scene was cringy, I'm like, I don't really get it. What? When they first met, like, oh, she had blue eyes like the moon. We're like, that's fine.
Like, I don't know. It's just fantasy talk. I didn't see any problem with it.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, I don't get what people are complaining. I saw the clip they were complaining about. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's how people talk.
We're not linguistic experts.
Yeah, but yeah, the king is hard-headed, and he's like, you know what, son? One day you'll understand. But the wife was like, well, this is your kingdom, because the king already kicked Elrond out, and he's like, oh well, I guess he failed.
Oh yeah, they found the the area where it was just filled with mithril.
Yeah.
Like straight up, and also Balrog. Yeah. But a shit ton of mithril plus Balrog, sorry. And the king is like, well, I like to stick to my old ways. Fuck you and your elvish friend. You ain't getting any. Close this up, even though this will help our race a shit ton.
Yeah. With trade and shit, you're like, huh?
Yeah, right? Like, why can't you just sell this shit? Why can't you just, like, make weapons out of it or, like, advance your race? Well, he's like, no, I don't like... I'm like, why?
I don't like outsiders.
I don't like outsiders. Like, and then, especially with the Elvish king.
Yeah.
He's also stubborn and, like, he wants to dwell in the past. I'm like, I don't get you guys. Why are you guys leaders? Well, they're kings.
Speaking of the trailers and stuff, like, I got pissed because the Balrog scenes was the only thing I got when the trailer looked like, oh shit, someone's gonna fight the Balrog. And then that's all you get. You're like, oh, it's just a flashback of the king explaining how Mithril got its start, and the Balrog down below. You're like, well, that's gonna play a part years later.
Thousands of years later.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got a shit ton of Balrog shit already, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It is cool going back to Numenor when they set sail and they see Galadriel in charge. You're like, hell yeah.
Yeah, where you see Galadriel like teaching the newbies how to
sword fight.
Yeah. And I was like, all the shit she's saying is true though.
Yeah.
You fight with your feet, not with your arms. I was like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, that is very true.
And then like she convinces the queen, like, this guy Halbrand, is the king. And she's like, all right, I guess we're all doing this together. And they all, including the queen, set sail for the Southlands to save it. They all decide to set sail together, including Isildur. He's like, I'm on poop duty. Yay.
Yeah. No, remember how he got his, like, he fucks up, got two of his other friends out of enlistment,
Yeah.
and then they were able to kind of volunteer
Mm.
for the war,
Yeah.
but he couldn't because his dad was like, "Oh, you're not ready, and you'll never be ready because you made your choice."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he saves one. There's a odd subplot, but there was this scholar who's flirting with his sister. Tried to light one of the boats on. Tried to blow up one of the boats.
Mm.
Then they both kind of agreed, like, "Hey, I won't rat on you, but you have to play the role of a person who I saved before that thing blew up." And
Yeah.
that's how he got his seat in poop duty.
Yeah. It's just, again, there's so many subplots like the anti-war stuff. Like, good lord, how are we going to talk about this?
Oh yeah, there's a shit ton of anti-war shit. Some dude in Numenor who's like, "Oh, once the king's dead, I'm gonna rule this place."
Yeah.
Like, or like he's gonna rule Middle Earth.
Yeah. But yeah, it is cool when they land on shore. They're instantly charging towards their destination. That's they.
Yeah, like they were on full sprint.
Yeah.
I guess horses in Middle Earth or within that universe just have like hella huge stamina,
Yeah.
non-stop. Seriously, these horses were just on full fucking sprint, and then when they got to the battlefield, they're still on full fucking sprint. I was like, wow.
It is a cool battle. And then I know they're meets with Galadriel. It's like, oh, nice to see you. By the way, the guy with the sword, you can't let him get away, because that's bad news right there.
Yeah, he has Saruman's sword.
Yeah.
Sauron, sorry, not Sauron.
Yes.
Sauron's sword.
Yeah.
Their name's kind of sad to say.
It's fine. And then Adar gets stopped by Halbrand, who he's about to kill, and he spares just of Galadriel, and then she's about to kill him, and she gets spared by Halbrand. You're like, it's an interesting exchange.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I got lost. But yeah.
Yeah.
And but before we saw the scene where you gotta love how Amazon's like, we didn't hurt animals. We saw that thing get up. Like Halbrand like puts out a pole in front of the horse, tripping it, thus tripping not Sauron, and eating shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yep, we got the sword. But before that, we saw not Sauron give the sword to the hobo that wants to be like his right hand man.
Yeah.
Thus, when they found out it's just an axe, it's not the hilt, you're like, ah, fuck. He stabs it through the keyhole thing. Thus, I like it that they put a little bit of science into it, which opens a dam, pouring water into a volcano, thus making it erupt. I was like, yeah, cool.
Yeah. But before that, Galadriel and Halbrand have a talk of like, hey, it doesn't matter what you've done in the past, I will support you all the way. Because he's already crowned the king of the Southlands. So he's like, I will have your back all the way. And you're like, that's pretty sweet. Until later, you're like, oh no.
We're good.
Yeah. But yeah, the guy activates Mount Doom, essentially. And we see, I guess, Mount Vesuvius Middle Earth style.
Not as bad. Because once Mount Vesuvius erupted and thus engulfing people, they were pretty much pottery.
Not near enough to create, Play-Doh out of people, but near enough to cause, destruction of the town.
And if you think that's offensive, it happened thousands of years ago, so shut up.
Yeah, those people aren't offended, they're dead already, so it's fine. But no, it costs the people their village. It costs the queen her sight. I don't know how it causes her sight again.
So, no, it was like some wood splint, came off the roofing and then threw at, fresh ember into her eyes.
Oh.
I think that's how it went. correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I remember something. She survived the eruption. She helped one of the guys lift the. Sorry, she helped Isildur like help one of his friends, and then that's when she got blinded.
Yeah. And then that's when Isildur gets trapped, and they're like, "Oh no, Isildur!" But if you watch the movies, they're like, "You're not dead though, so why's the show acting like you are?"
Yeah, you do a major fuck up in the movies.
He had one last
Like,
contribution to this world. Ain't good. But yeah, they all retreat and they have to go back, and then it's all sad and shit. And then the orcs and others stay, and then they're like, "You're the lord of the Southlands." He's like, "That's not the place anymore. It's not the Southlands anymore."
Yeah, and it looks over Mount Doom. It says Southlands, and it burns away, and you see Mordor. I was like,
Mordor.
oh yeah,
Like,
very good.
I dig it.
That was it. Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah.
That was really sick.
They all get reunited in camp, and like, for when Galadriel gets back, she's like to the Queen of Numenor. The Queen's like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll send more men." And the poor captain's like, "Why?"
Right, I lost my son. He wasn't Scottish, but like, yeah. And, yeah, I do like that scene where he was so conflicted because like he did lose his son and he regrets meeting up with that elf.
Yeah.
Not knowing that she has a bigger part to play.
Yeah. Thankfully, she was protecting Theo, and he is reunited with Anodir and his mom Barwin, and then
Okay. I don't know if it's the kid, I don't know if it's the writers or the director, but I found Theo very annoying. Until the last part where she was like soldier and he was like commander. I was like, that was cool.
I like Theo. I don't. Why is he annoying though?
I don't know. The kid was just whining every time.
He's a kid.
They were like, oh, yeah, I know. That's why. There's no room for error with me.
Apparently not.
Right? Like, kid was like working.
Yeah.
He was like, he was probably going through puberty, so raging hormones must have made him annoying. Theo in this world, I don't know about the actor.
But yeah. Galadriel discovers that Halbrand was injured, and she rides off with him while the people are shouting their support. And then
again,
yeah,
horses going full sprint, no rest, as she said.
Yeah. They're like, "To the king, to the Southlands," and the horses are just like, "We're out of here." We're like,
yeah.
Those are fast horses.
Yep. And they do get to what was the name of the
Celebrimbor?
No, yeah, but never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the land's name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, same here.
But
yeah, they get to Celebrimbor. They heal him up, and we find out that Halbrand is a big fan of Celebrimbor.
Yeah. Like, they want to make a crown for Abraham Lincoln King, but they're like, let's not do crowns because that's too much stress on the metal and that blows it up. So let's make something smaller by not forcing the metal, but being like, we won't force
soothing it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like smaller things.
Yeah.
And yeah, he does get like, because it's right after Durin reluctantly says no to Elrond.
Yeah.
And he has that amazing scene with his father, which we did not disclose, but I kind of forgot the shit that they said. It was great. It was good.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so they had to just work with what they got, which was that little piece of mineral, and thus stretching it into 3 rings.
Yeah.
But Miss Galadriel finds out that, wait a minute, the bloodline of Halbrand died 1,000 years ago, and there was no kin or nobody to take up the mantle. So who the fuck are you? Thus, intersecting with the scene with Gandalf, the stranger, and Halbrand.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait a minute, this stranger is not Saruman. You are a what was it?
His star.
An Istar.
Yeah.
And it cuts to Hellbrand, who's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
I
And
haven't
they're
been
like,
alive since the breaking of the first silence.
"Yeah."
I've
And they're
had
like,
many names.
"Oh, fuck! You almost kissed Sauron." I don't know. There was kind of like sexual tension between
Yeah.
them.
And he's like, "What are we gonna tell the elves that Sauron lives because of you?" He's like, "You'll die because of me." And then
And then they scream at the camera. I was like, "Oh, not gonna lie, that was sick."
yeah,
Which is a shame, knowing his end wasn't by Galactus.
yeah, yeah. I get it, the David and the Goliath story, but like seeing how it began, you're like, I kind of wish he met his end through her, but it is what it is. It's already
Yeah.
written in stone. Um, and then she almost stabs Elrond, and he's like, "What's up? I thought we were besties."
Oh yeah. Oh, and yeah, that's where Hellbrand like disappears,
Yeah,
and they finally were like, "Hey, we could finally make the rings, but we need pure metal,
yeah.
like the purest of pure." And that was her knife. Her knife, which was her signature thing throughout the entire show.
Yeah, from Elf
Which was
Heaven.
Yeah, which was given given to her by your brother.
Yeah.
Or well, actually, she just took it.
Hmm.
He was kind of buried with it. He was like, "Man," and thus took up the responsibility.
Yeah. They make the rings, and like you're like, well, kind of know what happens, and then we see Sauron go back to Mordor. We're like, I guess motions are set in.
Thus, maybe giving us a second season.
Yeah, if people like this a lot, and if it earns the viewership, I can't imagine why it won't. This has the Lord of the Rings brand with it. But yeah, I've seen crazy stuff. Like some things I agree. Like I sometimes it does get boring, and sometimes the characters don't make a lot of sense. Other times saying like this is the worst thing Lord of the Rings has done. I'm like, I don't think so. I enjoyed myself from time to time.
Yeah, I agree with Enzo where he's like, the first two episodes were kind of okay,
Yeah,
but it's not like, oh, I have to sit through 2 episodes before it starts getting. No, in my opinion, like they were fine.
yeah,
There's something to enjoy within the first 2 episodes, which yes is the slowest ones of the show, but it's not that bad.
yeah.
So, I'll save my thoughts for the ratings. But
Yeah, I've seen this show be called everything to a masterpiece to horrible fan fiction, and I would say it's good. It's a good watch. That's all there is to it. I don't know artists, but like, I liked it, dog.
yeah,
That being said, what would you rate this?
I'll give it a fair score because there were a lot of things that I didn't find enjoyable. Kind of like the arc with Gandalf,
Hmm.
where yeah, I wasn't pretty enjoying the whole half-foots. What are they called?
Harfoots.
Hardfoots.
Yeah.
I found myself drowsing out until they like show Gandalf doing his thing. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I do like that there is a little bit more political drama. Well, there was always political drama with Lord of the Rings, but now it's more prominent here. I do like seeing the backstories of certain races and their stories before the main big ones came in. And I don't know, I just enjoyed my time. The fight scenes were great. We have yet to see a gigantic, battle
Yeah.
when it comes to the orcs and Urukai, which they did mention are coming. And I can't wait to see more of Gandalf
Yeah.
and Galadriel work together and see how they get to know each other. Because
Yeah.
in the Lord of the Rings, they do like, oh, they're very well acquainted. I want to know how they did, or how they met.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would give this one a solid, not a solid, a 7.5.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it seems fair, right? Like,
Yeah.
there are a lot of things where yes, it does slow down. Where a lot of things were kind of like we could just move on and get to the other arcs or the other stories. And some stuff were a little bit annoying. but it is a 7.5 because it is a fun ride. And
Yeah,
I would say it's a good start. If they're gonna continue this with like other seasons leading up to, oh, we are at Lord of the Rings or Hobbit time.
yeah. Before Isildur's big fuck up.
I would like to.
Yeah. Well, I'll also give this a 7. Stuff I found boring was the Hardfoot stuff and like just the slow pace of episode 1 and 2. But overall, I had a good time watching this. Like, it's not like I was like, oh god, there are 8 episodes, I'm gonna die. No, I was clearly enjoying my time, and I like most of the characters. Some I could do without. Like, I'm really here for Galadriel story and Elrond's story, and that's about it. But yeah,
Same.
good show. Would I recommend it? Yeah, sure. If you want to start your Tolkien journey, this is where to start. If you are a newbie, don't be scared by like people being like, you have to start Lord of the Rings. Like, you can start here. It's fine.
Yeah, you can start anywhere.
Yeah,
People are doing things backwards nowadays, so.
yeah. I mean, talk about Star Wars. Surprisingly enough, season 2 will have winter. No, that's the wrong show. I was supposed to say season 2. I had a smack for the next one. Shit. My damn notes. No. But no, there's nothing for season 2. After that, then they say that Sauron will be like Heisenberg, which is interesting. Sorry. I'm gonna get crucified for that. But
Anyway, so Sauron like breaks bad and just
yeah,
I was like dons the armor and everything.
I guess
I
so.
do love that scene where they show what Galadriel and him would look like if they worked together.
Oh, that
Like,
was
he still
pretty
has
sick.
this Sauron and like suit. I was like, yes.
Yeah,
I annoyed the fact that Sauron was a man. I thought he was like a wizard.
I thought he was an elf. I'm confused.
Same here.
If you're an expert, please educate us.
Yeah, like I never knew he was just a guy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our thoughts on the Rings of Power. What do you guys think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Tell us in the comments. Be cool about it. Yeah, emphasis on be cool about it.
Please don't like hang somebody from the comments, alright?
Yeah, no curse shit. Let's be civilized. Yeah. If you want to find more of us on YouTube, I'm still getting over. I almost said Winterfell.
Yeah, I was like,
If you want to see more of us here, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. If you want to see us react to trailers, we have a Facebook at facebook.com/geeks and degenerates. It's been a long time, so my tongue got twisted, but it's fine. I can recover like a pro. We react to trailers, stream video games, and about our lives from time to time. You can find us on Spotify and TikTok under the same name as well. All the links down below. Spotify to hear us on the go. Maybe you're traveling in New Zealand, which is cool, and you're listening to us. Yeah.
I would love to go to New Zealand and just like go to the Hobbit areas.
Hell yeah. And for TikTok, you can see our bloopers, like some of the things we did here. Individually, you can find me at Gendalvis1995 on IG and Twitter. How about you?
Oh, you can find me at JohnGeom_on Instagram. It is my art account.
Yeah, and since I basically spoiled it already, I guess you know what show we're doing next. But yeah, till then, we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
It's a fantasy read. Leave us alone.